For my VMs, I normally don't turn on File Vault because it tends to make them angry. So right now we're defaulting at this login window to this web view. We also have a preference key, so you default just to this. So once the user has signed in and created a user account, you can actually just go back to here, and it's not that much different from the standard Apple login window, with the exception that if you had a IT user, you could come in and then validate through Azure, and you'd be an admin or non-admin based upon the roles in Azure that you have. So it makes for a really nice way of allowing kind of just-in-time user accounts. We're really interested in removing any sort of local static admin user. All right? If you have a local static admin, that's really bad. We don't want that. At a minimum, use Jamf to rotate the password. And don't even put that management account on there. Not the Jamf management account. That's used for a few things. But don't create an additional management account that you need. All right? And don't use this to kind of get out of jail free. Instead, if use the login window and have the IT system with their own unique credentials. And that way, if somebody, the phrase we used in the US is, we used to say hit by the bus and didn't come into work the next day. That's not the best thing. Hit by the lottery, right? They buy a ticket, never see them again. You don't want to have a password for that local account. So instead, do the just-in-time provisioning where you can gate whether they should authenticate Azure here and their ability to authenticate in this way. So in that particular case, you may have a system that doesn't even have a local admin on it, period. You hand the user the machine, they sign in, they get a local user account. Every time they need to elevate to an admin, they're doing Azure authentication or cloud identity authentication again. However, if the machine breaks, and when we see customers that have gotten off of Active Directory and gone to entirely local users, and in many cases we've seen they hand it to the help desk, this is broken, I don't know what to do, and the help desk asks them for their password. Because for the help desk to do anything, if you're not bound to AD or otherwise have a way of getting into the machine, you need that user password. Well, that's really uncool. So the user would then hand their machine into the help desk. The help desk agent that's working on it would immediately be able to go to the login window, sign in as their own account. You would have a record of what they signed in from, what IP address, all of that. You would then have a local user account. We're looking at some ways of maybe removing that account after a specific period of time, expiring, so the help desk could hand it back to the end user. They be able to go about their way, and it's something automatically removed just by some sort of script or something else running. Also looking at being able to do that at the log, so that you can kind of run your own scripts. You'll be able to see which users have signed in. You may know through an API call back to Jamf Pro or something else like that, whether that user is assigned to that machine, and then remove all of the other user accounts that may be on there. So there's a couple of kind of clever ways that you'll be able to do with a little bit of scripting to kind of clean that up and make it a little bit more resilient system. Login window version for those sites that are still doing kind of the white glove setup where you're depoting the system and a tech has to sit down and kind of type in a bunch of stuff. We have another method where instead of a login window, you just get a series of going to what the username is, maybe what their password's going to be, pull down to a couple of different either configurations or maybe locations that you have. When that's all done, we take that information, we write it to a local plist file, and then we kick off your script. So your script can then grab that information, make that user account, do anything that you need to do with that process, and when you're done, you'll then be able to kill the login window process. Well, went to sleep. There we go. Now I have to go back here. Oh, it came back up, good. So you'll be able to kill the login window process on your own, and the user will be back here. Had to log in you'll never have accidentally created the first secure token user that then has to be removed and the new user be actually set up for it, because you'll never have actually created a user account, and we've never gotten that far in the login process. So there are some really clever things that we can do. Since we're as root here at the login window, we've blocked the user from signing in until we do all the work that we need to do. And we have the user's username and password potentially. Did I lose the mic? Oh, it's okay, as long as this mic's still, millions of people out there will still be able to. So, off. Can you hear me? Maybe a little better? Yeah, it's working. All right. It's glowing red. Supposed to do that? Probably not. Who knows? All right. Our time may be coming to an end quickly. Yes, it is. All right. That's fine. Are we back? No. That's good. I'll shout. So yeah, we're really excited about a lot of the possibilities here. We've been working on very similar functionality within iOS. So we'd be able to authenticate users to iOS via an app that again would go back through an OpenID Connect operation, pull some strings in the MDM service to then either allow them to have other applications or otherwise set up that device for them. This is how we can combine this into the entire Apple fleet as we go through it. Any other questions? We got to kind of dig into the login window and have some fun stuff there. I'll wave to everybody that's remote. And thanks for coming by. Did we get the, is it on? Well.